1915K 65 horsepower. This is owned by Janice Bryant of Pawnee, Oklahoma. And it's being operated today by Colin Sewell, great-grandson of Kenneth Kelly, right here in Pawnee. So we appreciate this fine engine. It's been out here on the grounds for many, many years and does an extremely amount of work. Hard working. Colin, if you could use that whistle for me. Thank you, guys.
Dale and Cindy Wolf from Cushing, Oklahoma are the owners of the next engine, a 1917 Nichols and Shepherd. It is a 1650, 16 horsepower on the drawbar, 50 horsepower on the belt pulley. The tank on the front of the engine above the smoke box is a water tank. Your coal or wood bunkers are carried on the rear of the engine. Again, this is a single cylinder. And Dale has been one of my operators, board members, and workers here for, well, I've been here since 1980, and Dale was here a lot of years before that.
But he was a lot shorter then.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Chad and Anna Kelly from Pawnee. Chad is the engineer on this 1920 50-horse case steam engine. This engine originated in Cushing by the Notenmeyer brothers in the Happy Valley area to the southeast of Cushing. And in 1950 it went to Seminole, and then it was owned by Ross Staggs out of Muskogee, and now then it is owned by Chad Kelly.
Hey Chad, what size is that? It's just big.
This is a Minneapolis engine by the Minneapolis Thrashing Machine Company, I believe. And again, water tank here on the front end. This is a 2890, 28 horsepower drawbar, 90 horsepower on the belt pulley, single cylinder engine. This is a very heavily built engine, and you notice the diameter of the boiler on it is quite large. And this engine also fares from up the road north here at Ralston, Oklahoma. Okay, we have a Rumley engine up next. It is also single cylinder. You did not fill out, where's your freight card? We've got your number, but we don't have the freight card. Where are y'all from? Okay, the engineer's from Texas. His passengers from Michigan. What size is this engine? 25 horsepower Rumley.
Thank you, guys.
This is a good looking engine, also a heavy built engine. Okay, we are featuring Alice Chalmers this year for the tractor and implement line. I need to say a few words about this particular tractor. It is from the Jim Touchstone, aka the Orange Band, from Drumright, Oklahoma. Jim is the second owner on this tractor. He and his wife were on a vacation in Montrose, Colorado. Jim saw it, stopped, visited with the dealer. The dealer had sold this tractor new and had taken it back on a trade-in. The next day, Jim was back there with his pickup and gooseneck, bought the tractor, and brought it to Drumride, Oklahoma. This tractor is in factory original paint, and the tractor is dedicated to Jim and his memory.
Now those of you that, when you got your show button, when you paid your admission, if you got the tractor, this is the tractor on your show button. This is the picture.
But Daisy May, aka Fido, is not on the button.
No.
Okay. And Jamie Touchtone, Jim's son, is the operator of this tractor today.
That was a 1959, 34 horsepower.
Yes. Zan Thompson from Yale, Oklahoma is on a Series 1 D17 6-cylinder diesel. Very smoothly running engine. And this is a 1957 model. 59 model D17. Okay, Irvin Parson from Burton, Kansas has brought a 1972 Almus 220. This was the first year for the Almus Chalmers cab and the last year for the 210 and the 220 series. This is a 135 horsepower tractor.
Next we have Dana Hobson from Perry, Oklahoma. Dana's operating a 1964 Almus Chalmers 40 horsepower. It's a D15 Series 2 with a 400 loader. Thank you, Dana. It's a beautiful, beautiful restoration on that.
Mo Miggs from up in Thayer, Kansas on a 1939 Almus RC. This was the WC with the C engine. They did not manufacture very many of these. Nadley man from Chinook, Kansas. Nadley is operating our 1939 Almus Chalmers B. This B handled a one bottom plow and a one row cultivator and was a small tractor in the Almus family.
Next we have Charlie Chapman from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Charlie's operating a 2014 Craftsman lawnmower. He added rear lights, a ball hitch trailer, and he's got some special guests in the back end, Chucky, Tiffany, and Glenn the Seed. Thank you, Charlie.
We have the very famous unstyled Almus Chalmers WC. This was a two-row, two-plow tractor, and this was Almus's original row crop design tractor. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. Joe McKee from Wilson, Oklahoma, and this is a 1937 Alice WC. And you say that's the first row crop.
We have a John Deere Model MT. The small John Deere has the two-cylinder upright engine rather than the horizontal. It's mounted with a two-row cultivator. Okay, John and Melanie Kaufman from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. John is driving his 1929 Chevy. This was the first year for the 6-cylinder Chevy, and this car only has 48,000 miles on it.
Next we have Cameron Bibby from Winfield, Kansas. Cameron is driving his 1944 Allis-Chalmers C with the sickle mower on the side to be able to get those roadside ditches clean.
Well, that tractor's probably mowed them out of hay this time.
That's what my dad had in Kansas with a sickle mower on the side.
That's called the W safety mower. Okay. Mr. McKnight, y'all are running a little bit late. Okay, Mike McKnight from Mason, Tennessee. That's just up the road from Memphis. And Mike is on a 1912 Scott 18 horsepower double. All of the engines that have been coming through have been single cylinder. The Scott has two, it's a double. Water tank there on the front end behind the smokestack. And this engine originated up in Kentucky. Mike brought it down to Tennessee.
Historical Society of Fairview, Oklahoma. This is Chad Weber. Chad Weber on the 1940 Allis-Chalmers Model B. And this tractor is the giveaway in a drawing, correct, Chad? On the 21st from Wellington, Kansas. And he's operating a beautifully restored 1936 John Deere A. He's added electric start to it with a built-in overdrive. Thank you. Coming up from Wellington.
Also, Lloyd Ingram from Sand Springs on a 1937 Farmall Performance Series F20. The F20 is the later version of Farmall's original tractor, the regular.
Next we have Ron Hainsworth from Wellington, Kansas. Ron is operating his 1938 Farmall F20, which is one of your favorite tractors there, Bob. Thank you for coming up from Wellington.
Dylan Smith from down Oklahoma City. Dylan's on a 1951 Farmall Model M. And he said this tractor has the M&W 5 hydraulics and the power steering. And he got this tractor when he was 9 years old. And it also has the Farmall fast hitch on the rear.
Next we have Shelby. Yep, I can tell from here. Shelby Smith from Oklahoma City. This tractor is owned by Dalen and Shelby. This is a 1946 International Harvester Model H with the steel rims. It was pulled out of the barn just 2 weeks ago after sitting 20 plus years. And you got the smooth ride, didn't you? Thank you, Shelby.
Jeremiah Davis from down in Shawnee, Oklahoma on a 1963 Model D10. The D10 was just a one-row tractor, and this D10 replaced the famous Allis-Chalmers B.
Next we have Richard Hofstetter from Tuttle, Oklahoma. He's operating his 1946 John Deere Model A. Very powerful tractor in the early years. Thank you, Richard.
Bryce Burton from Gage, Oklahoma. And Bryce is on his C Farmall. And this was also two-row, two-plow tractor. The C was a real work-wise small tractor.
good Oklahoma steam thrashers, corn meal, bagged, ready to eat. This is Bob Jones from Fairmont, Oklahoma. Bob is on a 1950 John Deere MC factory hydraulic system. He purchased it while he was here.
The F30. This was the 30 horsepower tractor. This would handle the 4-row cultivator, pull a 3-bottom plow. If you park a 20 and a 30 side by side, you can notice the difference. But if you put one in front of the barn and one in the back of the barn, look at them separate.
Hang on just a minute. We're looking for number 1, set no pressure.
Okay, we've got an Earthmaster. I believe that has what, the 4-cylinder Continental engine. It looks like at one time it had the side mount Sycamore on it. It is owned by George Korendorfer. Okay, and you're from Mustang, Oklahoma. A 1950 10 horsepower Earthmaster.
Next we have Jaden Stoddard from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. And Jaden is operating his 1943 John Deere Model A hand start. And they made quite a few of these little A's. But this is the tractor that has been hauling back and forth from our storage barn, pulling the wheat bundle wagons out of storage.
Scott, I'm going to give this one to you because you seem to favor it.
I love the John Deere H. I said that wrong. That's an H. This is Mitch DeCamp from Locust Grove, and it's Peyton DeCamp on his 1948 John Deere Model H. I love the H because you can tell it very quickly. It only has one stack on it. All the others have 2 stacks coming through the hood. The air intake is on the edge of the hood. It's on you guys to get this.
John Deere Model R. This is the big boy in the John Deere line at this time. The R is a 2-cylinder diesel that has a 2-cylinder gasoline Pawnee motor to start the diesel.
I love the R's, Bob. They were the first diesel, is that correct? Of John Deere?
John Deere's original diesel.
Yes, this was the transfer over from the gasoline to the diesel. They use the same basic engine design. This is Jared and Austin Mitchell from Pawnee, Oklahoma. The daughter of Remus. Nope. Okay. 1952 John Deere R. And it's a beautiful track. I love the sound of this horizontal.
And his grandpa Steve was the ag teacher at McLeod for years, and great-grandpa Jack was the ag teacher at the County Land Company. And there's Steve right there, oh heavens.
He's wearing an OSU hat. Is that okay?
That is perfect, OSU.
Yeah. Next we have Dennis and Debbie Moore from Lahoma, Oklahoma. Dennis is operating a 1928 Rumley 2030 Model W. Now while I have this fine Rumley, hold on just a minute, we got something special happening here shortly. This time next year, we will be hosting the International Rumley Collector Expo here in Pawnee. And there's going to be a large amount of Rumleys here on the grounds 1 year from now. So you might want to put that away. Thank you guys for bringing that. I love the Rumleys. I know they can be cantankerous, but I love them.
Dalen Wolf from down in Gushin, and Dalen is operating a 1932 McCormick Deering 2236. Again, 36 horsepower belt pulley, 22 horsepower on the drawbar. This was basically a 3-plow, 4 and a loose ground here.
Next we have Lyman Urban from Blackwell, Oklahoma. And Lyman is operating his Advanced Rumley really don't know. But it runs, clearly he's running it on kerosene, is that right? Yep, he's got it on kerosene. These tractors start on gasoline. After they warm up, they throw it into kerosene burning.
And water.
And water. Under a heavy load, you have to open a valve and it injects water to the cylinders to keep it cool. Thank you, Lyman.
Mary Brown from over, well, here in Pawnee is operating a 1952 homemade up of Winfield, Kansas. Roger's operating his 1964 Minneapolis Pawnee. Well, sorry, that ain't Roger. You're much better looking. And model M604, this tractor has the mechanical front wheel assist.
Now folks, this tractor coming through is the very first tractor that I ever used with my dad on the farm. Not this particular one, but the Model LA on propane. This is Larry Bolton from Oklahoma City. Larry's operating a 1952 case LA. And it's got, does it have the hydraulics? Okay, single hydraulics. And the plow is a 515 case model J5 that was first built in.
Got Marion Blankenship from down at Glencoe on his 1953 John Deere Model 40 Narra. 40 Mod N. S. I guess Roy must have wrote this card, because I've seen some of his reports come through the sheriff's office. He writes too close to the paper. This was the small John Deere 2-cylinder upright engine.
Next we have Brady Porter from Bonita, Oklahoma. And Brady's operating his 1952 John Deere 50 row crop. It came from Coffeyville, Kansas. It was built for a 2-bottom plow, but it will pull a 4-bottom.
Duty. And Morgan's on a 1930 Massey Harris GP 4-wheel drive.
That is definitely 4-wheel drive.
Okay. This tractor can be operated with horse-drawn equipment with extensions on the controls. This Massey Harris came up with a 4-wheel drive configuration like this. It worked well, but they were
from Dewey, Oklahoma. Amanda, maybe. That's Amanda.
Yes.
And the 1950 Dodge Power Wagon, 1/2-ton Power Wagon. I understand, Bob, those things are really good. Married and brought 1953 John Deere 50S.
That is Mama Blankenship. Much better looking than Mary, and better personality too. Okay, Marion Blankenship also owns this 1940 Shaw. Shaw was one of the early day garden tractors. Wisconsin 1-cylinder engine on it for power. This is Roy Blankenship here.
Roy Blankenship, how you doing? From Stillwater, Oklahoma, Roy brought his 1948 John Deere A and got a Roll-O-Matic. Thank you. And
he's actually from the town of England, Oklahoma. Okay, Brady Porter from over at Bonita on a 1949 John Deere Model D, 38 horsepower tractor. This was the biggest of the 2-cylinder gas engine tractors in the letter line. Chase Collins from here in Pawnee. Chase is operating his 1953 John Deere Model 60. I
Fuel
do
never-
like propane. They're a very clean running engine.
Fuel never goes bad.
No, your crankcase all stays clean.
He just stalled out. We need a John Deere puller tractor.
No, you don't.
Okay, it's going, it's going.
I wish you would quit using that obscene language. Dale and Cindy Wool, Goshen. Cindy's operating her 1919 Rumway Model 8 1630. Now this was one of the lightweight Rumways I made.
Yep. This was the wedding present? Oh, it's at home.
No,
Keep it going, Cindy, come on. Steer it, crank it. You're going the wrong way, Cindy. She's got it. No, she doesn't. It's going away. Go ahead, Dale.
Dale Wolf from Goshen's operating 1932 Farmall Regular. And this is what put Farmall into the row crop business. And this was a tractor.
And it's clearly still in its working clothes. Dale, are you going to keep it like that? Attaboy. 45 John Deere H. I love an H. Purchased for Angie's 20th anniversary and birthday present, and I see you took it over. Okay, well, it's a beautiful job on the paint.
Sam Thompson from down at Yale on a Almus Chalmers 1968 gas-powered Model 170. This replaced the D7
Factory. It had a 48-inch mower deck, 48-inch front blade, and a 38-inch snow blower. You don't need it today. No. Thank you, Brady.
Larry Bowman from Oklahoma City. And Larry came through on the propane LA earlier. Now he is on his 1935 CC4, and it's pulling a two-bottom Grand Detour plow built by the Case Company. And the plow, if you'll notice, is what they call them